Joshua Bassett just released his second studio album and it's incredible. It's a narrative pop album that includes current fan favorites like Blue and Dancing on the Edge and underrated songs like Selfish Love. Today, I'm breaking down what I liked about each song and what you should look for on your next listen. Welcome to the Music by Mads podcast, the music podcast for mainstream music lovers. Since I already did an episode on Joshua Bassett's EP that he released before releasing the album, thumbnail is right here, by the way. I won't be talking about Blue, Clouds, or Hold Me. I will talk a little bit about Easier, even though I did talk about it on my Instagram, so you should go follow that to make sure you catch all of the extra stuff that happens on social media. Whenever I get to one of them, I will remind you that they have their own dedicated episode, and then we'll just kind of skip over them. I only have about 20 minutes of filming today, so I'm going to be speedy. It's going to be speedy today, but this is a really light recap of my thoughts on Joshua Bassett's second studio album. Since Blue is track number 1, we're going to move on to Dancing on the Edge. This is the 5th single that came out with this album, and his marketing strategy is so interesting. On my Instagram, I called him one of the smartest artists of this generation, and other people would say he doesn't know how to promote things, but I really think this is such a dedicated and calculated marketing strategy that he's been using to release these songs. He's building up anticipation. He did this once before with another EP, and I think it's very smart. You should go check out that post on my Instagram if you want to hear why I think that's so smart. Dancing on the Edge is so fun. It feels like it could be in a rom-com, and that's one of my favorite genres of songs, is songs that feel like they could be in a rom-com, especially like the late 90s, early 2000s rom-coms that just like feel so good, like the ones you always go back and rewatch. I think I need to make a playlist of all the songs I think fit that description, because it is so fun. I love a good rom-com sounding song, and I think there are lots of songs deserving of that title. So if you guys would be interested in a playlist, please let me know, and I will share that if you guys are interested. To talk less about the vibes of the song and more about what's actually going on, I love the synth bass. Occasionally, he just pulls out this really gorgeous synth supported music that he doesn't rely too heavily on it, which I really appreciate. He's very much an acoustic artist, and he loves using guitar, piano, real drums, everything. He is a musician, and he wants to use those things, and it makes me very happy that he does that. But I love that he also knows, and he and his producers know really well how to use acoustic instruments with synth and to have synth supported songs. So this synth bass is really, really wonderful. I also loved the halftime bridge. It's always gonna hit. Halftime's always gonna hit, so long as it's done correctly and well done in that. But I think halftime will always hit for people. It's a wonderful change for our ears, and I think it's just such a stunning. Oh, it's so good. I really loved this song. Fire guitar solo. I love a good guitar solo. That is something you guys know about me if you are a returning listener. I also love that this is a retro pop song. Like, I would classify this as retro pop just because of the use of synth. It makes it sound very 80s, very early 90s, just something very synthy, very grounded in older music. And it feels weird to say older music because I listen to 80s and 90s all the time, but it is older music. It's older than me. So, yeah. Then we're going to move on to Hold Me, except we're not, because that's one of the ones that he released beforehand and I had talked about. So a reminder to go check out that episode and to go listen to me talk about those first 3 songs, and also Rookie. I talk about his memoir in that episode. So Selfish Love is the one I mentioned in the intro, and the guitar riff is so pretty. I think it really caught my attention. This was one of the first ones that I was like, wow, this is a favorite from this album. And it's so beautiful. It had a lovely synth after the chorus, and then it had that optioned guitar chord, and it got me. I had a physical reaction to that chord change right after the chorus. Like, it was so unexpected, but like perfect. Like, it's exactly where you wanted it to go. That it just, like, I had like a whoa moment, like in my body. Like, it was really a visceral reaction to it, and it was really lovely. I really wish I had more time to sit with this and, think about the chords and do some analyzing, but I did not. I will shortly, I'll figure it out for a social media post, so go check those out. For the chords, it hits on that instrumental outro again. I definitely, at this point in the album, was like, this is one of my favorites so far. It's so wonderful. It's also criminal that that's the shortest song on the album. It's not even that short. It's all of these songs are over 3 minutes, and that delights me so much. You have no idea. I love the fact that this is over 3 minutes, but this song is the shortest one. It's 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Then we've got Clouds, which we're going to skip over because I already talked about it. Flash the thumbnail again. It's going to get annoying, but you're going to love it eventually. You're going to be like, oh, there's the thumbnail again. But Clouds is another one of the songs I talked about in that previous episode, so you should go check it out. And we've got I Still Care. And this one was interesting where some songs, I am very analytical about it. I can like remove myself from the emotion of the song enough to like think, oh, this is what's going on in the song. This song is not one of the, sometimes I can't. And this song is a great example of when I can't do that, because I just sat there and just was like, this is a sad song. And I just sat there and felt the song in my bones. It reminds me of another one of his songs. I still can't put my finger on it, but it's maybe it's probably something from Sad Songs in a Hotel Room. And I can't put my finger on which one it is, but it was just sad. It's just a really lovely song. The post-chorus was perfection. The reverby backing vocals with the present main vocals just, delicious. I love a good present vocal. If a vocal's not present enough, it makes me very sad because I want to hear their words and hear what they're saying and hear the melody that they're singing. And I think sometimes we overproduce in a way that hides the vocals in a very bad way. So I also love the concept of what on earth did I do, but with a striking lack of blame on the other person. Because yes, he like in this, he still does blame, like he still talks about the other person, but he doesn't put the blame on what happened to her. Like he's like, oh crap, I didn't think you'd move on this fast. What did I just do? Why did I leave you? Like what did I just do? Like why did I do this? And there's the lack of blame that just makes me, it's refreshing, I feel like, in the current world in general, and specifically the music world, where people are quick to be like, well, this is your problem, you did this to me, you did this. I think the introspection is very refreshing, and I think that's something I've mentioned before about his music and in general, where he is very introspective and he often is very graceful about talking about things that have happened to him or he's done, where there's a striking lack of blame is how I just described it a little bit ago, and I think that's the best description, a striking lack of blame for the other person. So I talked about this song on my social media a little bit, and that's Easier. This song was the 4th single from this album, and I think this was a very beautiful song. It was very spacey in how he did the reverb, and just very open and echoey. It's really good. This was my least favorite, I think, from I like this song a lot, but I think in comparison to the rest of the album, I think I like this one the least. Like, no, in no way is it a bad song. It's a very well-produced, well-written song, but I think in the grand scheme of things, this is my least favorite one from this album, and that's okay. It's so good. The name drop of Ezra gets me every single time. It's like so surprising that he gets so specific, because I feel like Joshua Bassett is very, I want to say private is the correct word for it. He's very private. He doesn't very openly talk about certain things. He is not very specific in his songs, where a lot of artists that I listen to are very country-based songwriting. Their songwriting is very based in like country traditions, where it's very specific. It's very storytelling. He tells stories, but in a much more vague way, and I think that's why it startled me a little bit to have a name drop in a song, where he's usually such a private and a private storyteller, I think is the term that would fit best. He's a very private storyteller. He tells the stories, and you feel the specificity in it without him being truly specific. The bridge is the best part of the song, and he writes fantastic bridges. I don't know a ton of, I know he's influenced by John Mayer. I don't know a ton of his other influences. I'd need to go do more research on that. But I think he has listened to lots and lots of artists who are very good at bridges, and he has worked with artists that are very good at bridges. If you catch my drift on one of the collaborations from his Disney days, I think he is so phenomenal. Like, he does such a phenomenal job with his bridges, and the artists he studies are very clear. His influences are very clear. I just don't know some of the influences, but I'm sure I would just like, oh yeah, totally, if I like read something, you know. But I do feel that the John Mayer influence is very, very clear throughout his music, and John Mayer is a phenomenal musician. A person, not so much, but phenomenal musician. Okay, we are cooking on time, you guys. I'm so proud of myself. I'm going super fast, and I apologize for that. Hopefully it's a good pacing, and you enjoy it. I just have limited time on my video, so we're gonna do this. The next song is actually the second to last song in the album. I can't believe we're already here. It's Ruined. The chord progression is the first thing I noticed and was delighted by. It's akin to the 007 chord progression. It's not the exact same, but that's kind of what it made me think of when I very first heard it. As I kept analyzing it in my head, it was very much like I think it's a third. Bum 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 bum. It's like, that was like the worst example. I wish I had more time to analyze this and like really sit with it, but you know, it came out on Friday. I had to write my outline and get it done quick. But it starts on obviously the bass note, goes up a third, up another half step, and then down a whole step. So it's a very interesting, I think it's a third. If it's not a third, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a very interesting bass line, and I think the inversions he uses in the chords really, really made that bass line shine. I think it was just such a smart decision to invert the chords and to have that wonderful leading bass line, and it's very ear-catching, and I really, really like that. This one has a lot of vibes like Doppelganger, which is one of his singles he released a few years ago. I listened to that one again. Such a good song. That's such a good song. This is very much kind of it's tea. It's very full of tea. It's like a lot of gossip going on in here where it's like, man, you ruined everybody else for me because you were such a wonderful person. And I really like that sentiment. I feel like this one's another rom-com song where it's kind of the emotional precipice. Precipice? Is that the right word? The emotional the pivotal moment is probably the term I'm looking for, but I wanted to go the emotional route. The pivotal moment of it where they're like realizing, crap, like why did I let go? And it's like the climax of the conflict, and then the resolution comes right after. I think that's where it would fit in a rom-com movie, and I think that would be wonderful. The pivotal sad montage kind of song. That's what I wrote down on my outline, was the pivotal sad montage. I also love in this song that he has over a minute long instrumental outro with beautiful tremolo strings and some trills, and just like, I think he was very smart in making this. It's one of the longer songs, and to make it an outro that long of just instrumentation and very beautifully done instrumentation is wonderful. We need more instrumental breaks. I am a big fan of instrumental breaks, especially when they involve strings, because as many of you know, if you have been following the podcast, I am a string player. That was my major in college. I majored in violin, and I have a Bachelor of Arts in music, so love a good string moment. The tremolo is super beautiful, and maybe I'll do a feature on some string vocabulary so you can find all of your instrumental breaks and know exactly what's going on, because I think that'd be fun. Tremolos are great. I love little trills as well. I love vocal trills, violin trills. I think they add such a wonderful flair and flavor that vibrato just doesn't. It like adds a little something extra. It's spicy. It's wonderful. And then our very last song is No One Loves Like You. And I feel like we haven't gotten a true Joshua Bassett love song in a long, long time. I think Heaven Is You is the last song we got that was really a true love song, because Blue is a love song, but it's very specifically mentions a dead end love. And I think that is where people forget that it's not truly a love song, because it does mention it's a very like doomed love song. This is a true love song where it's like, wow, no one loves like you. I love you, like obsessed with all. It's just I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I think this is my favorite from the album, and I'm obsessed with the instrumentation. I am obsessed with just everything. I do have one criticism. I want his voice to sit more forward in the mix. I think it sits a little too far back, and maybe it's just how my headphones are, but I think his voice gets a little bit buried in the sound, which he usually doesn't do that, so it's probably intentional, but I do want it to sit a little bit more forward than it does. But otherwise, these pockets that he's created are so nice. And if you don't know what a pocket is, when a musician says, it's often used in jazz. When a musician, wow, we're going a little too fast. My brain's moving too fast for my mouth. When a musician says something is sitting in the pocket, it means that all of the instruments blend so nicely that it just feels like one thing. Like, I guess that is a simple explanation for a very specific term. It's often used in jazz, where things are sitting in the pocket. It just, like, everything meshes together really well, and it just feels like a unified thing. And sometimes I feel like the overproduction of things gets rid of those pockets or fills the pockets too much. And this song sits very well in the pockets. So, to wrap up, it is overall a fantastic album. I think it is a fantastic venture from his first album, and it's going to be on repeat forever and ever. It's so wonderful. Now I just have to convince him. Like, now, guys, Joshua fans, we need to convince him to put these on physical media so I can buy both Golden Years and Easier, the album. Anyways, my review will be on Grooves. It is on Grooves. And don't forget, the first episode in September is when our Grammy submissions will start, and I'll explain the rules, and I'm very excited for that. And next week, we're doing audience hot takes, so please fill the comments with hot takes. I will have several videos throughout the next week about it. So get your submissions in.